This is 4-Star Modeler, episode 3, and it's our third look at the Revell Germany Star Trek Into Darkness Enterprise kit. And I'm going to start this week looking specifically at a spot that I kind of gave it a little bit of a shine to. I said I'd get back to it, and here I'm getting back to it right away, and that's the engines. The thing that there's just a few things that are kind of little off on this, not a big deal. For a while I was thinking, it wasn't for a while, but I took a good look at the angle of these and thought they might have been a little too flat now, but I think they're at the right steepness. But what's not quite jiving here is the very end of these pieces. This clearly goes down and then out like that. There's a bit of a cut, not a drastic cut, but there's a bit of a cut in there. And this is just sloped and doesn't seem to have quite the end to it that this does on the video that we were looking at last week. And again, this is from the Blu-ray special features. At the 444 mark, I was just at the 310 mark. At the 440 mark, you can see these window dividers here. They tend to get a little bit bigger on the ship, and then there's a very thick one. They get much bigger here, and then there's the thick one. So they grow a little too fast, so they're going to need to be filed down to be a little thinner. And then there's 4 that you need to add, because there's this little one right here that's after this long one, and that's not on this model. And this corner divider, essentially, because it's kind of at the turn here on each of them, is on the port and starboard side. So there's a pair of each of these that you have to drop in. Very minor, but you do want to put them in there. And that leads me to the next thing, which is that the windows they give you, they just don't really seem to want to work. I mean, they're kind of weird. I'm not sure about the design, because they don't even fill the space completely. So they're kind of, I really don't like them. I'm a little disappointed when I kind of pieced that together. But if you're going to, which I'm going to match the sizes of these dividers here, then the windows aren't going to work anyway. So I'm just going to build my own windows with some clear acrylic, paint them from behind, and then seal this up. That's how I'm going to do that. And that's the engines. So the next thing to look at is this navigational deflector housing. So here it is head on from when I started with it. And what I wanted to do is match it to the picture from the 350 in the video. And as you can see, there's 2 indentations on each side of this thing, but there needs to be 4. If you go by the reference picture. So what I ended up doing is I followed Thorson's lead from the RPF form that we did last week, and that is I made the cuts on the red and the blue, and then I filed down the green, because the grill doesn't really taper upwards like that. You have to flatten it out. So I took the right side off and did the flattening. And here's how. Let me show you how it works here, or how it looks. Okay, so here's where it is right now. Now, as you can see, I took that side off, and let's see, let's get a little better in focus here. I think that's better. And you can really see how much room is going to be in here now. There will be able to, I'll be able to double, the look there. I'll be able to take those two, and I'm going to pop this out. So what I'm going to end up doing here is, so I've extended the initial back ring. I left that there, and I just brought in some 0.25 millimeter styrene. The plastic here on the model is 0.75. So my plan now is to add another ring of 0.5 millimeter to kind of seal this up here, okay, because this is now just the guide that is out of the back. So the first 0.5 millimeter, or the next 0.5 millimeter that I lay down, will be flush with the very back of this ring. And then I'll lay down an additional 0.25 millimeter along in here that will have this pattern on it, okay? and then and I'll lay those patterns right here and here, and that will bring everything flush, and then I'll just sand it out, and then it'll prime real nicely. Now, and this right here is another key thing. Now, what I think I'm actually going to do is this grill here, I think I didn't want to originally, and because it looks like you're destroying the piece, and it's not like it comes with two of these, obviously. But I think actually that as this ring progresses, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take this entirely off, and then when I go to mount the ring, before I do that, I'm going to put the grill right here, and then build the backing of it right here, and then I'll be able to put this ring back in. Okay, it still fits fine. Just right now it's a little dry, and it'll give me that illusion that I was talking about last week, where that's kind of floating within the housing, and this grill won't look like it's this grill won't look like it's in the way, or not in the way, but rather it won't look like it's connected, because it won't be. I think actually, I've been looking at these right here. I think I'm going to leave these. They look all right. I am going to rebuild the sides here, because those were off as well. Okay, and then the next thing to look at is the indentations that we want to give the secondary home behind the navigational deflectors. So I took a nice sharp Tamiya and Tamiya tempered blade. There is, I scored along the indentation that was there very patiently, very carefully. I got what I wanted, and then pulled the tab back, put in the, I kind of did a little fatiguing of the plastic, and then if you notice that I had to kind of, from the back of the support, some of these supports, I had to sand them down a little bit in order so that I could put the sheet in place to make the walls to hold the tabs in place. Okay, so here's the inner wall that I built on one of the styrene, or with the styrene sheets on one of the tabs here. It's not quite as level as I would have liked, but if you're going to light it too, you're going to have to do this, and then and do what I'm going to do also, which I'll get to in a little while. I'm going to clear acrylic this as if it is a window. Now on the front end here, I still owe a little. Whoops. I still owe a little arch that, sorry about that. I still owe a little arch. It's going to go right in there on both of these. But as you can see, it came out pretty nice. And this is pretty simple to do. The nice thing about it, what makes this mod actually really strikingly simple, is you can get the file in everywhere you need to go. You can get it in there. You can get it in there. And you can clean it up, or you can use a sand stick. This was a little thinner, so I pulled out my metal file, and then actually buffed it on the front. But that's gonna prime out very, very nice. If this gap right in here turns out I gotta look at this, I might want to just putty that to bring that a little more flush. That's really getting nitpicky, but this seems to be a nitpicky model build for me, doesn't it? And so there you go. Thank you very much for watching this week. I'll be a little further along for the next episode. I had to wrap up a model that I was building for my dad for Father's Day. An old school Constitution class AMT model, which will be its own little standalone episode. Down the line, I'll show it to you. But that just helped me up a little bit. I'm now full bore into this, and this is gonna be. I'm gonna start cranking on this real good here. So, thank you very much. This has been another episode of 4 Star Model.